By now, people have had a chance to sift through the avalanche of buzzwords in the federal budget and the talking points given to the Liberal MPs. Words like catalyze, supercharge, empowering, and right sizing the federal civil service, which I guess means it's been the wrong size for a number of years. And of course, the most popular word in the budget, investment. Now, you may have noticed that as federal deficits ballooned, spending became a dirty word. So politicians just sort of quietly swapped it out for investment. After all, who could argue against investing? That's different, they'd say, turning a budgetary sleight of hand into a virtue. I mean, the slick rebrand exploded in the last three budgets, along with the deficits, where we were told that 1.4 billion given to the CBC, but now, just so you know, an extra 150 million on top of that in the budget, in quotes, an investment in culture, journalism, and regional connectivity. ArriveCan was called, in quotes, an investment in public safety and digital innovation. They called the infamous financial and ethical disaster, Sustainable Technology Development Canada, an investment in environmental sustainability and green jobs. I mean, last year, this time, talking about the GST holiday, which Finance Minister herself, Chrystia Freeland, admitted was, in her words, an unaffordable political gimmick, but was called an investment in affordability. You know, as an aside, I hope you get how insulting this verbal sleight of hand is. The government utters the word investment, and we're supposed to nod our heads in approval without further thought. And clearly, millions do comply. As the National Post Tristan Hopper calculates, when you add up all the budget-related documents, the words invest, investing, investments appear 964 times. That's a new record, ahead of last year's 632, well, the April 2024 budget, and in 2023, 467. At the same time, as Prime Minister Carney reminded us many, many times, we are spending less to invest more. Well, that's a bit confusing given the budget proposes a net increase of 141 billion in new spending, with overall federal spending forecast to grow, 7% next year alone. That's 6 times faster than the economy, a trend forecast to continue for the length of the Liberal mandate. It's still a reminder, though, that the budget is much more a PR exercise than an economic/financial one. The budget's also a reminder of the overriding political division in Canadian politics as Prime Minister Carney pushes for more government intervention and control over letting the private sector do it. I mean, the abysmal record, though, when it comes to the execution by government, obviously doesn't bother the Prime Minister. But given we and our children are paying for it, I think the track record should be a serious concern. I'll give you a quick example. Trans Mountain Pipeline infrastructure project was supposed to cost $8 billion. Well, it actually ended up costing over $34 billion. The Toronto's Eglinton Crosstown LRT, estimated to cost $8.4 billion, ended up costing $12.6. In BC, the North Shore Watershed Treatment Plant was supposed to cost $700 million, now costing $3.86 billion. In Quebec, the Champlain Bridge replacement was supposed to cost $3.9, ended up costing $6.8 billion. I mean, there's so many other examples. The point is that no one should be surprised. I mean, making the big announcement, the photo ops are easy, but operating a system of limited accountability, if any, problems with measurability, questionable operations, and a bureaucracy that former head of the Parliamentary Budget Office, Yves Giroux, says runs 7 layers deep. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming. The private sector far outpaces government when it comes to efficiency. Yet Mark Carney is staking our money and our children's future on the government model. As I've warned since Prime Minister began his long list of grand announcements, the talk is easy, but the numbers are real. Productivity has declined for 20 consecutive quarters. Capital investment per capita is down 25% from the peak by 2023-2025 period, while the U.S. is up 20 to 30%. We've got companies like Stellantis, Magna, trucking company TFI International, Gildan Activewear, and many others have moved some or all of their operations to the U.S. I mean, come on, this time last year, Brookfield Asset Management, with Mark Carney as the CEO, moved headquarters to the U.S. So we got to cut the political drama, not focus on it. This is the real world, where real consequences for jobs, our standard of living, and our children's future. I mean, we are so long past the point where rhetoric alone is going to suffice. Budget 225 finally acknowledges, by the way, the crisis of collapsing productivity and capital investment. I'm happy to see that after ignoring them for 10 years. But here's the question, and it's critical. Did they do enough? Personally, I don't see it. But that's because I have a disagreement with the government. I think the circumstances are dire. They deserve an emergency response. The government thinks it's much more incremental. We'll see. Hey, just a reminder that we can get the World Outlook tickets now. Go to mikesmoneytalks.ca. What an incredible roster of individuals. Including we've got Heather Exner-Perot coming up. She will be with us. You know the others, Tony Greer, we've got Martin Armstrong. The list is a long one, but even more important, the track record is exceptional. So I hope to see you there. Go to mikesmoneytalks.ca. Hey, sign up, get your ticket, get the early bird special.